and welcome to this Sellerbility video. I hope you're doing well, and today we're going to be doing an insightful comparison between tactical arbitrage and Sellerbility to give you an idea of how both work, what the differences are, and ultimately it will help you make a decision as to which sourcing tool is going to be the best fit for you and your Amazon arbitrage business. So we're going to start off with tactical arbitrage, work our way through the various features and such, and then we'll move on over to Sellerbility. So before doing this video, I had a look around tactical arbitrage, tried using various bits and pieces. The one thing that I will say is that I personally feel that it's very thorough, so you can do a great job with this, and you can be very specific with what exactly it is that you're looking for, what you want it to do. However, on the flip side of that, because it is so thorough, there's quite a bit to it, and I feel that it also looks and feels a little bit retro, a little bit Windows XP. I'm not sure how much sense that makes to you, but I just feel it's a little bit outdated, which is why I assume that they're doing this new dashboard look. At the point of recording this, I think this might still be a work in progress, because when I try and head on over to it, it gives me the new look, so it looks quite sleek at this point. However, when I go to another page, it goes back to the old look, so I think it's still a work in progress. But anyway, let's take a look. There's a bunch of different options that you get here when you use tactical arbitrage. So there's guided search. So this will basically help you look through various categories or by site, whichever one you want to do, in this kind of format. So if I was to select toys, it will then break it down into where would I like to search for them, Walmart and Target. Subcategory as well, so I could select this, then search, and it will begin straight away. One thing I do want to point out here is when we're doing it by category, it only lets me pick like 2 stores here, whereas with Sellerbility it looks through all of them. So we go ahead and search. We can track the progress as well. What I like about when we start a search is that we can actually open it as we're doing it. So we can stop it, we can modify it, but if we go and view data, it will then basically show us products as they come in, which I think is pretty cool. So there's the guided search, the quick search. So if you just very quickly want to get right to it, you can choose the marketplace, the retailer. You want more profit than whatever amount you have there, and you start the search that way. You've got it like that. Product search, if we come in here. So straight up looking for products, sourcing from, selling in what marketplace, what website do you want to source from. There's lots and lots and lots of different options in here, and what's great about tactical arbitrage is that it's relevant to the marketplace that you're looking at. And so you've got all of this right here to configure before you can start the search. And there's ways that you can make it quite thorough. So there's all these options at the bottom where you can really get right into the nitty gritty and really refine the scan. You can really refine the search. And as I say, it's quite thorough, so you are doing the most concise job possible if you work your way through, and there's quite a bit to work through, so it is going to take some time before you can actually get the search underway. And ultimately it's down to if you can spare the time to do this sort of thing. Some of you out there might think this is great, you can be super thorough with it and go through literally everything prior to the scan to get results that are basically tailored to you, so you don't have to do much once you have the results. Or you might think, there's quite a bit to do there, I just want to be able to get my results, which is of course where you can use the quick search. But within these other searches, and you've got these additional options here, is whether you want to go through that when you do them. What you can do though, once you have set it all up in a certain way, is you can actually save your filter. So in a sense, instead of filtering the results once you've got them, you can do the filtering prior to narrow down the results that you actually get. So you can actually save that, so it's a bit quicker to apply each time you go and do it. But yeah, I guess that one's a bit subjective. You've got reverse search right here. So basically, you can import product codes, so you can look on Amazon, and then it will find stores that you can get it from. whatever item it is that you're looking up. You've got wholesale search, so you can upload a wholesale sheet, or you can choose from a wholesale site that's available within Tactical Arbitrage, which I think is quite cool. Amazon Flips. Now, these slightly newer features at the time of recording this, they've got videos coming soon. So in regards to like how exactly to use it, the benefits, to get a full in-depth tutorial, it doesn't seem to be available at this point in time. Personally, I think it would be really useful to have had a bit of a tooltip about what exactly this is, and get you to grips with using it, and so you have an understanding of what it's all for. Currently, the only place I can find this kind of information is on the actual website itself. So Amazon Flips, scan Amazon to Amazon Flips for quick low risk profits, buy from one seller on Amazon and sell high to another without ever leaving the platform. So that's basically what this is. It's basically what Amazon Flips is. Library search. So this is quite cool. It's very niche. It's for if you are selling books, and it scans books across multiple platforms and compares against Amazon prices. It's perfect for booksellers looking to diversify their inventory. So I really do like that. You can choose the category and then get in into the nitty gritty with what types of books you're looking for exactly, and do it that way. You can do a search that way. I quite like that. And if you're a bookseller, you'll be loving that for sure. Always be scanning. So this is where you can automatically scan in the background for profitable deals, focusing exclusively on the top 10% of Amazon's highest ranked products. So it's going to continually look for new opportunities for you in the background. So this is what this is. What I find with the results, so if we go ahead and see if we can find some results, I personally think that how the results are viewed is a bit, it's just not how I would prefer to do it. As you can see, that's moving down there. It's a bit, there's a lot of grey space there. So it means that you're literally confined to what you can get underneath it, and you have to scroll across to view everything you want to view. And just the way that it's laid out, you get all of that useful information. Sure, you have your charts. You can set specific day ranges. You get things like the Amazon buy box price, the buy price, sales information, the product size, and all that good stuff. But it's just how it's presented. I think it could do with brushing up. But again, you might think that this is great, but I personally think that it could do with brushing up, and maybe it will be in the new dashboard. I don't know. But yeah, you can manage the columns as well. There's an extensive filtering system, so you can narrow down to a T what you want from the results. Yeah, in this analysis section, you can compare product variations. There's a box calculator, which I think is pretty cool. So you paste the ASIN in there. It'll tell you the dimensions, like what kind of box you'd want for what kind of product. Bundleizer, so this will help you with creating new bundles, unique bundles. I know that that's a growing thing now on Amazon. So this is quite useful for that. There's a recycle bin, so if you happen to delete anything that's in your results, you think, hold on a minute, I didn't mean to do that, you can go back and get it from here. You can view your Amazon inventory. There's a great resources page, so it gives you the getting started steps. There's videos, all of the supported stores per marketplace. So it's quite an extensive list there, and I think that's pretty cool that it shows you it like this. And these are the marketplaces, these are the retailers for this marketplace and this marketplace and so forth, so you get a good understanding. And what I think is pretty cool is that there's some milestones. So if you're like me and you play Xbox or PlayStation or whatever it is that you have, and you know that there's achievements when you play games, I think that this is quite cool. That it just it convinces you to it urges you and pushes you to strive for certain things, and I think that's pretty nice. I think that's pretty neat. And you can also submit ideas to Tactical Arbitrage as well. So ultimately, I think Tactical Arbitrage is quite a thorough sourcing tool. There's also a lot of different sourcing options there as well that you can choose from. It caters for lots of different demographics of Amazon sellers. Yeah, I think it's great. The only critique that I have with it is just the layout in some places. I think it could do with some more tooltips, more things that help you understand what each section is about. Of course, once you learn, But initially, trying to gain that information, it seems like you have to take a couple of extra steps to do that. But ultimately, it's a great bit of kit. Now let's take a look at Sellerbility. So right away on the homepage, it's very easy to understand. So you've got various widgets at the top which you can actually customize as well. So you can exchange any of these for, say, like the tips right here or the notes. But you can do a search pretty much right off the bat. So as soon as you get into Sellerbility, no messing around, you can get straight into it. So if you've got like a favorite store, you can set that as the quick search and then start that straight away. You've got a summary of what's going on in your account, the last saved items, top saved items, last completed searches, which you can open up right here and now. When it comes to searching, yes, there are less options, but I mean, for Sellerbility, having only been out for a few months at this point, and having so much that's going to be added to it, I mean, it's just inevitable that there's going to be more search functionalities and things like that down the line. But you've got your core of essentials there by category, by retailer, by wholesaler. I like how these are set out as well, so it's very clear, very easy. So if I was to select toys and games, it'll then break that down into subcategories, so I can go really niche with this if I want. And it'll keep breaking it down so I can get as niche as I want to be and start the search that way. Retailer, so there's currently 353 retailers in Sellerbility's database. That's only going to continue to grow. And all popular names that you'd recognize. I like that it's not in like a list like we'd have in Tactical Arbitrage. I like that you can actually see the icons here like this. It just means that you can recognize the store straight away. You can add some as your favorites, which you can then filter on. So, I just like this look. I like how simplistic it is, yet it's still as effective. So if I was to select, say, Argos, for example, start that search, boom, it's getting started with it. Started right away, and the scan time is very quick. Let's go ahead and open this up. So whilst it's scanning, we can open up the actual scan itself and see products as they come in. So we get all of the information about them. We can get analyzing straight away, which is what I really like about this. You can upload your wholesale sheets to Sellerbility as well, and it will scan through everything in the sheet and give you all of the analysis results for everything in it. Here's your completed scan, so nice and easy. You can get them to rescan as well to update the information. And then, of course, you can go ahead and open them up to view all of the analysis results. So as you can see in here, you have everything you need just right there on the screen. So you can see everything about the item. You've got the comparison between the store and Amazon. All of the essential data that you need right here. Chart history, which you can actually change the day range for, and it's like very interactive, so you can click and drag, hover over a certain point, and it will give you a breakdown of what exactly was going on at the point that you've hovered over. So it's really easy to use. You can hide the item, you can add it to your deal stack. If you have BuyBot Pro and Profit Protector Pro, both of them are integrated with Sellerbility, so you get extra features through just having these softwares as well. So if you use BuyBot Pro for data analysis, it works great with Sellerbility. You can source, and then if you link up BuyBot Pro, you get extra information about the competition, estimated sales, and some more data from BuyBot Pro. You can even go ahead and analyze with BuyBot Pro right here and now on the page. But again, that's if you have BuyBot Pro, you can utilize that integration. If you have Profit Protector Pro, this is something else you can do with it. So you can get it repriced, set it for repricing in advance. You can set the min-max strategy. So if you're going to go ahead with this item, you can set it for repricing right here, right now, and it will start repricing as soon as Profit Protector Pro gets the SKU from Amazon. So you don't have to do anything else. Gets your repricing a whole lot quicker, and it's just a great integration. Here is the deal stacks. This is everything that we've added to it. There's a bunch of preset filters at the top, so it makes it really easy to very quickly navigate to a certain set of items that meet whichever preset criteria that you've set here. You can, of course, add your own criteria. So let's set the filter. It's a very extensive and easy to use filtering system, and you can even, when you've configured it down to a T what exactly you want, you can apply it again and again and again. So it's very easy to sort of like use the exact filter that you want. So you can add whatever you've created as your filter as a preset that you can just use every time you come into Sellerbility and you're looking through the results. So you can get it very specific in line with you and just very easily apply it every time you come in and look at all of the results. So I really like that about it. It means you don't have to configure everything all over again. You can set minimum ROI, maximum ROI you want to achieve, minimum profit, max profit, BSR range. You can sort by availability, so just things that are in stock, for example. The minimum and maximum number of sellers you would want on a listing, ideally, minimum max number of sales. If it's fragile, if you want to see fragile things, you can include and exclude certain items based on words. You can set sort of like a minimum and maximum price that you'd want to spend on a product, minimum and maximum price for the how much it's selling for on Amazon. If you have BuyBot Pro, there's some extra results in here. So a minimum, maximum confidence score. And you can even do things like this as well. So you can just tick that you only want to see things that you're eligible to sell, for example. If you're not eligible to sell, you can actually apply to sell through Sellerbility. So currently it's checking the eligibility, but it will tell me yes or no. And then if I'm not yet eligible, I can apply to sell through a button that will then appear right here. There's the BuyBot Pro confidence score, which is again something that appears if you link up BuyBot Pro. Then you've got a match score, which is basically Sellerbility's AI algorithms and how confident they are that this is a good deal. So it tells you what it thinks, so you get some reassurance there about the product that you're looking at. There's also the option to view multiple products at the same time, so that's quite cool. You can add your virtual assistants to work on Sellerbility with you, so you can effectively get a lot more sourcing done by having your team work alongside you using the same software. And what's great about having your virtual assistants work with you is the fact that on their version of Sellerbility, they only have the base function. So all of the search options, all the searches, and they have nothing from this point, downwards. So they can't change anything with the other virtual assistants or themselves. They can't access your settings and change subscription or anything like that. So it's a great and safe way to work with your virtual assistants, getting them to utilize Sellerbility with you. There's even a range of reports that you can download from Sellerbility, so number of scans completed, number of scans started, number of scans completed per virtual assistant. So you can do that from a certain date range and download that as a CSV, for example. So you can see how many scans have been started per virtual assistant per month. Maybe there's a certain amount of scans you'd want them to do and so forth. So it's a great way of checking on that kind of progress. You can have Sellerbility take into account specific details about your business, like certain fees, VAT statuses, ROI methods. So that way it's calculating everything in correspondence to you and your business. You can download your results to a sheet as well by clicking on this button. So this is where you can choose the Google Sheet that you can export this data to. And there's great little preferences in here as well, like being able to switch between day mode and night mode. Personally, I really love night mode. I think that just looks so slick. But ultimately, it's down to preference. But I just like that there's that kind of option in there, so it feels a bit more homely. It's simple, yet just as effective. And I personally really like the layout. I like that you have a lot of retailers in here as well to choose from. I love how the category breaks down. I love that you can have your virtual assistants working with you on it. And yeah, I've got nothing but good stuff to say about Sellerbility. It really is a great bit of kit, and there's so much more that's going to come to it in terms of features and integrations and so forth. So, I mean, it really is a great piece of software, and is just as effective. And just that layout, just how simple it is, it doesn't need to be overly complicated. Sellerbility is absolutely ace in that regard. Now let's take a look at pricing. So with Sellerbility, you have the choice between various amounts of pipes. So this is basically how many active scans you can have running at any one time. And so it's currently monthly that we're looking at. So £28 for the cheapest plan plus VAT. 3 pipes, £38 plus VAT. 5 pipes, £48 plus VAT. And you can have your virtual assistant, and you can have your virtual assistants working with you on these plans as well. So yeah, it's quite cheap, and the massive perk to signing up to Sellerbility is that you're grandfathered into the price, which means that if you were to sign up for this plan, say, you will always keep this price for as long as you stay with Sellerbility. Even if prices go up, you'll always be paying this right here because you're locked in at that price. As long as you stick with Sellerbility, you get to keep that. So that's a great perk to signing up to Sellerbility. Tactical Arbitrage is quite different in its pricing. And also with this as well, if you want multiple search scan functionalities, you need to go for one of the bigger plans. I would say at least from the online arbitrage plan upwards if you want multiple scan functionalities. So yeah, it does mean that if you want to utilize tactical arbitrage in multiple ways, you might not be doing wholesale. If you're doing online arbitrage and you need these functions, you have to be paying $89 a month, and anything else you'll only be paying more for. And so ultimately, if you want everything like we saw over on the tactical arbitrage account that I was in, then you would need to be paying $159 a month, and it's quite a lot. Ultimately, it's up to you. That might be totally affordable for you and feasible, and you get a lot of concurrent scans there as well, and you can queue a lot as well. With Sellerbility, it's unlimited with how many you can queue as well. I just wanted to mention, by the way. But yeah, there's quite a difference there between the price plans, and of course with Sellerbility, the only thing that you can't have if you're, say, on the beginner plan is you can't have any VAs join you on it, and that's really the only difference between this plan and the other plans. The other plans you can have VAs. It's a lot cheaper. There's no limit on like the queue, for example. You get the use of the integrations and I mean everything else in Sellability. Whereas with the tactical arbitrage plans, it's quite restrictive in a sense, unless you're paying the much higher pricing. And that's just what I think anyway. But hopefully this has helped you come to a conclusion with which sourcing tool you'd prefer for your Amazon business. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you soon.